takes us out of housekeeping and into Cringe of the Week. We have some fantastic stuff. Our first clip, Cringe of the Week, the Mets game. This is from a few days ago. But look at this.
And now Timmy Trumpet takes center stage.
I'll skip ahead. They got this trumpet performer coming out.
They're bringing some pitcher in.
It's pretty hype.
Pretty cool. Everyone's going crazy.
Can we play this?
Yeah, I think so. Pretty cool. That's the song I think that's going to be the song of the fall for all these sports games like football and whatever. That'll be the hype song of this season. But here's what I noticed in this video. Everyone's got their phones out.
Yeah, here's the frame.
You know, everyone's got their phones out. So it's like you're not experiencing the actual event, what's happening. Instead, you have your phone. And if you believe in the theory that AI is demonic and is working to enslave us, maybe it already has, you're basically sacrificing an inhuman moment and feeding it to the phone.
Yeah.
So it's like, here's a cool experience. They're playing the trumpet at your favorite game, huge thing. The crowd's all crazy.
Great pitcher.
Instead of enjoying it and just being there and soaking it in, you're taking that human experience and you're feeding it to your phone, and you're not getting it, but the phone is. So the phone has control over you. So is the phone satanic AI trying to enslave us? Yes. And how are they doing it? By robbing us of our human experience.
Of the moment. It robs the moment from you, and then it gives you some copy of that moment that you can send to people or hang out with later.
And nobody does, right? Exactly. It takes it from you. So they're feeding it to the phone. They're feeding their real human experiences to the phone.
I went to a wedding recently, and I didn't take one picture.
Yeah.
I trusted the photographers. I didn't take one picture, and it's like, that's how it should be.
100%. We got Jerry, the dog, like a year ago. I have like 4 pictures of him as a puppy.
I know, that was bad though.
That's actually bad. But it's like, you know, I was there.
But you have tons of memories, right?
But I have tons of memories. I didn't feed Jerry to the phone. All right, moving on. There was a headline on Time magazine from a few days ago. Can you read it?
Yeah, Time spoke to genderqueer, in quotes, author and illustrator Maya Kobabe on about air work, EIR, the efforts to restrict access to air writing, EIR, and what A make of the current cultural moment.
So that's pronouns in action. Time magazine is participating in the Muppetry. And I was thinking, it kind of looks like a pirate thing.
Hey.
So Time spoke to genderqueer author and illustrator Mike Kobe about air work. The efforts to restrict access to air writing. And what A make of the current cultural movement.
You're like an Irish pirate, maybe.
An Irish pirate. This is about air work.
Time spoke to genderqueer. They put that in quotes, so I don't know what that means, but
they spoke to her about her work. About air work.
Imagine bringing that to the editor, being like, "Is this right?" Like some Muppet is like, "Is this right? Can we check this?"
Like, yeah.
That's what they told us.
Is that how she wants it?
Oh,
They're
God.
talking about air work. All right, that was pretty good.
We're just clowning.
They, them pronouns for toys is our first real clip.
Yeah, here's a free lesson.
Use non-binary language with your kids. For example, if you're playing with some toys with them, you could assign one of their toys to be non-binary. So instead of always referring to their dolls or their animal toys as he or she, you can use they, them pronouns. When you're telling a story to your kids, you can have a character that's non-binary. So instead of saying she, you can have they or them. This introduces your kids to the idea that it's not just she, her, or he, him, and it's just a really easy way to get them used to the idea of they, them pronouns.
And it's also plural versus singular.
Yeah.
So the kids who are just barely learning how to speak are now calling a singular thing a plural pronoun. I'm sure that's not confusing. We actually spoke about this after last week's episode. We kind of realized like the term captive audience.
Yeah. Like you're always looking for a captive audience, someone who's, engaged and, they listen to every word, right?
Exactly. So it's like with kids, they're a captive audience, not because they're highly engaged, but because you literally have them captive. Like you have them stuck in the chair for the day.
7 hours a day.
So all these like trans and gender people, they're always talking about how like, oh, like the adults don't get it. They're not progressive, but the kids understand. And it's like, because they're a captive audience. If you sat the kids down and you're like, all right, today we're learning about coral reefs, the kids are going to learn about coral reefs and they're going to ask questions, and you kind of have them stuck. And it's like, today's Coral Reef Day. So when you take that, like the existing status quo of how school works, and then you shove the gender LGBT stuff in it, and then the school is kind of encouraging it because they're progressive and don't want to get in trouble. It's like now you have teachers taking advantage of that automatic captive audience. Where if you had it after school and said, hey, 5 o'clock, the trans club meets, it's like, you know, you'll get who shows up.
Yeah.
But when you have a captive audience, because you literally have the kids stuck in chairs for 5 hours and they have to listen to whatever the teacher says, and then you use that to sneak in the LGBT stuff, you're taking advantage of a bad situation.
100%.
Captive audience is the key there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Captive in the wrong use of the word. Like we got a couple captives on the island.
We got, like,
they took us captive.
Captive
Yeah.
audience.
Yeah.
We got the kids. They really react to it well. They ask questions or whatever, and it's like, yeah, because they have literally no idea what you're talking about, and they're looking at you as an authority thing. So you're kind of speaking down to them, and they're assuming it's the truth. That's why they're captive. Do you have the clip of them asking the drag queen the questions?
Yep. Here's some captive
Drag is
kids.
for anybody and everybody who wants to put on a fun costume and get up on stage and entertain people. Everybody should try drag at least once. It's really fun.
Even kids?
Yeah, there's actually quite a few kids that are starting to do drag.
Do dogs do drag?
Do dogs do drag? I mean, they can. You can dress a dog up in a dress and take them on stage with you.
Like literally no clue, no like foundation of understanding. Like everyone does drag. Do dogs do drag? There's no idea.
That's
Truly
like
no idea.
And that's like it. It's like the kid has a dog at home. It's like, do dogs do drag? It's immediately like the 3 people I know.
And it's like, yeah, the answer is yes to that. Yeah, everyone does it. And then drag kids do it. And it's like, yeah, we've covered some of the drag kids.
Did you see the hair on the first kid? Rainbow spray painted hair? That's a captive kid.
Captive.
Yeah. And then also, one thing we talk about, this drag queen or whatever says drag is anyone can wear a dress, right? The dog put on a dress on the dog. Have you seen the reverse drag? Mm-mm. Like it's mostly, I don't know if you want me to bring this up, but drag syndrome.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, drag syndrome is what
Yeah.
it sounds like. It's people, Down syndrome people doing drag.
In England, I think there's a group of people with Down syndrome. I think there's like 5 or 6 of them, and they do drag.
But they also do the reverse drag where it's not just dresses. It's like a girl, Down syndrome girl, who starts doing like beard on their face and stuff.
Yeah, it goes the other way. And it's very confusing. And Gavin had a great video where he basically spoke about how like the odds of all the drag syndrome people, the odds of all the Down syndrome people to be interested in drag and be like trans or whatever it is so low. So it almost proves the point of like, oh, it's
pure grooming and influence.
Pure grooming and influence,
Yeah.
100%. Like the odds that like what? How many Down syndrome people are there in the UK?
Yeah.
And then it's like, and then all 5 of them over here are all interested in drag queens
In this particular region.
It's like, isn't that like mathematically impossible?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So
Without recruiting, without heavy and intense recruiting.
yeah. So that's kind of a little insight on how it works and how to get convinced and how to get basically groomed into this type of stuff.
But that's the only time I've seen drag where it's like the girls dress up like a guy.
yeah,
right?
Drag kings, I guess.
Drag kings, yeah, that's what they call them.
Yeah.
So we're doing research out there in the wild. Obviously, a lot of you guys probably know about drag syndrome. It's because it's insane and it's
Yeah.
popped up. Like multiple different people have talked about it already.
We're doing a lot of research. We're covering a lot of the topics, and it's actually leading to like YouTube to kind of not know what our audience is and what we're talking about. Last week's episode, there was an ad for PrEP.
No.
Yeah, an ad for PrEP, which is the pill that the gay guys take so they can have sex parties and not get AIDS.
It's the pill that prevents HIV.
Yeah, so they're advertising that on the podcast and on YouTube.
They're advertising twink shit on the podcast, guys. We confused them.
We really confused them. We might get some preferential algorithm treatment
Yeah.
if we're posting twink shit.
Well, I've said this before. I like when they do like a COVID vax or a twink shit ad on us because it's just like that organization, that twink shit organization, just wasting money, right?
Yeah, none of our people
Are a few of you twinks out there?
none of our people bought prep because they saw that, I promise.
Yep.
Next clip, there's a drag show.
Wait, who sent in the screenshot? Because we got to look at their search history. We got to look at
I
what
think
they're
it
up
was
to.
typical liberal. He was watching in his truck.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What's he searching?
Yeah. That's not good.
Hey, Google ads aren't dumb. So
We caught you, Grantley. Drag in church. There's a drag show in a church, I think in Tennessee.
yep. Let's get these demons up here.
So we'll have to take the audio out from here because it's copyright music.
All ages drag show.
All ages drag show. And look, the drag queen kind of
Comes out in a monk outfit.
looks like someone on the show. That could have been you if you went like super left bad, progressive LGBT.
Me? That could have been
That's
me.
what you would look like.
I'll let you have it, buddy. Audience knows who's who.
So he takes off the monk outfit and then reveals like a brassiere or something disgusting.
Yeah, just a pig outfit.
Yeah. And everyone cheers.
Yep. The kids give the money to the fat man in an outfit.
Yep. And that's what we got going on here in America. In
That's it.
unrelated news, here's a clip of a Bolsonaro rally that happened a couple days ago. Here's 1 million people going out to see him.
You can't even see where it ends.
You can't even see where the line of people ends. And obviously Bolsonaro is considered, what is he considered? An anti-PC guy?
Yeah.
We like him. We love him.
Oh, yeah.
And then this is obviously the movement. So you have a drag thing. People go. Maybe Antifa shows up to protect you. Everyone there is looking to groom their kids and sacrifice their children to the devil. But then you have someone who's based like Bolsonaro has an event, and 1 million people, grassroots, 1 million people organically show up. You can't
Crazy.
even see the end of the crowd.
Did you see, I'd be remiss if I didn't bring this up. Did you see the Bolsonaro thing where he was, his campaign or his election's coming up and he was posting him playing Grand Theft Auto?
Oh, no.
He was playing GTA and like a modded truck that said Bolsonaro on all sides of it. He was just driving down the street blasting like Brazilian music, and he's just in the top right corner like a streamer. It's hilarious.
good.
We'll play it in the background.
He also posted something about him and his like bodybuilding days.
Yes.
Where he was just like absolutely jacked Chad Bolsonaro.
Good stuff.
Love to see that. Last clip of Cringe of the Week. White people are parasites.
Yeah, this is a great one.
This is interesting.
I call y'all white people for what I see y'all. Y'all are devils. Y'all are parasites. Y'all are mosquitoes. And when you look at a mosquito, you see that mosquitoes latch onto other life forms, drain the blood from that life form to get nutrients so it can power itself. That's exactly what y'all are, because every single thing that y'all do is to drain the life out of everything. And when we look at the advent of y'all devils, since the moment y'all were created, y'all have caused destruction, chaos, and deception on our earth.
So what's the definition of a parasite?
Someone who takes from a host body, you know, something who lives off of others.
So white people must really disproportionately be draining society of its resources and causing problems and ruining neighborhoods and sucking the life out of cities.
Yeah,
It sounds like.
White people probably are a net negative tax base, right?
They only based on that, they have to be.
Yeah, I would say that guy wouldn't go and speak about that sort of thing without having his facts settled.
Yeah. So not good news for us white people.
Yeah, man. Crazy.
Turns out we're destroying all the cities and sucking the life out of our culture. That's weird.